check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Alrighty then. Okie dokie, and right away I see that I am a little off today, but I am going to fix that. Okay, good day, fellow humans. My name is Darude, in case somehow you ended up on this channel just because. And I've had an I don't know, exciting is not the right word, not the greatest week ever. My hand was hurting like a mofo last week. I have some sort of tendonitis thing, and it's slowly but surely getting better, which is great. But because that hand wasn't working that well and I didn't want to use it to do anything, I lifted my 2.5-year-old daughter with my left hand, and I was at a bad angle, and it's something funky for my lower back. So the last couple of days I've been kind of walking like a duck, my ass, I mean my buttocks sort of sticking out for a good part of the walk, and then slowly and surely I get upright. It should go away. I've had this before, something just tighten up in my lower back, not feeling great. Then, if you must know, I visited the dentist today, and if I speak a little funny, it's because my cheek is still a little numb. I had a filling done. And then now I just went and really quickly shaved for you guys, roughly though, but did. Now it's not the lumberjack model anymore, and I cut my lip, so everything is okay and amazing. But I'm here with you guys, and what I thought of doing today is showing around this project I've done with Waves plugins only. Well, not 1000% exactly Waves plugins only, but something like that anyways. And I am going to be sending this video to the software company Waves. It's long overdue, but I've just been so busy, and then Corona hit, and then this and that hit, and whatever. So it might be coming out on their channels as well, edited at some point. But my point is that I've made a track. It's an example track that I've made using Waves plugins. So there are equalizers and other stuff. There are compressors. There are Waves instruments that I've used. And I'm not 1000% sure if this project right now is 100% Waves yet, because I've been going between a couple of different versions, but this one that I opened still has some stuff that is not Waves, but most of it is, and I think like the important stuff is. Obviously I'm working on Logic, and they don't obviously have their own DAW, so some stuff needs to be Waves anyways. I'll see how this track sounds at this point. All right, so this is a yet nameless track. I've got it. It's called Round and Round on the project file, but that is actually the name of another track where I've derived this from. Yeah. So this is my waves only track that I've been working on. I've used EQs, compressors. I've used the Element synth. I've used codecs, and what else? Anyway, so I'm going to be going through this one and hoping that it will make some sense to you, as it has been making sense to me while I've been making it. The track is 128 BPM. My purpose was to do like a housey, clubby track, and since this is going to be an example track on the Waves site, this is includes some just sort of generic vocal samples. I believe they're from Apple Loops or somewhere similar, and they're copyright free. And whatever else I've done here is for example purposes only. And yeah, let's take a look. So starting from the top, I've got a track that is a very short kick that nobody is going to hear because it's doesn't have an output. It's a sidechain trigger kick that I'm using on something somewhere here. The next, basically creating a pumping effect on the track. The green stuff up here, as always, for me, it is effects, and I'm using some Stadium Crowd and another layer, and then a little later on applause, clapping together. That's actually not people clapping together like that, but it's at this point still using Shaper Box, and there's it's a rhythmic clapping thing. Little boom there, another one, and another one, and one more. I actually wonder which project is that one it is. I guess we have a full Waves one here as well. It's been a while since I last worked on this. Pardon my scatterbrainness. It might have something to do with the fact that half an hour ago I was not still able to drink coffee without it being on my face as well. So yeah, now this looks more like it. Okay, so we're going to take a look at, I don't need the mixer here. Yeah, okie dokie. Let's see. I should basically start the whole thing again because now I've got it like I need it. So this is what I was talking about. This is my Waves only project of the track that I just played. We can actually take a listen to and see if you guys notice a lot of difference. That earlier one had still some third-party plugins and more Logic's own plugins. Let me open it wide open for you with everything on it. So let's start again. This is my Waves track, now done with only Waves plugins. Whoa, too many plugins probably. No, that can't be the case. Logic's been acting up today for some reason. Oh my goodness, I never get this. And I certainly did when I was doing this. This project only has, well, 65 tracks or so, but it must be the piled up stuff on the master. Oh well, maybe I need a new computer. Sausage Gaming 92, thank you for hosting. This is unreal. Not that it's my fault and not that it matters, but I really didn't have this issue earlier. I think I need to quit Logic and see if I can whatever else I have. I don't have much on that would document changes. I don't need these. This is the typical demo effect, I guess. I don't need Safari. Well, I do actually. But, oh well. Let's get you back, guys. Let's go to there. And boom. And let's boot Logic. Let's see if this is better this time. While days, let me explain. I hope the project now works better. I am going to show you guys something that I've worked on for the plugin company Waves. They're kind enough, they've been giving me pretty much everything that they have for me to use, and I am basically drowning in amazing Waves plugins. And like you guys know, I'm not really biased, and I also don't have an exclusivity deal with anybody. So I love Izotope stuff. I've used a lot of them. Kilohearts is one of my favorites, as is Cableguys Shaperbox, for instance. But this session is about this track that I created for Waves, and I've been using their stuff until like last year, a year and a half ago. I've bought anything and everything I've used from them. I think I have the Diamond bundle, which is like 60 or whatever, 80 plugins, and I've used anything and everything from them. But then having the whole arsenal, which includes all sort of the signature bundles and everything, there's so much, and there's so much good stuff in them. And this track is made with only Waves plugins. Well, in Logic, of course, but every EQ, every compressor, every anything, reverb and everything is Waves. And this track is derived from a track that I'm working on, and I exchanged the important stuff that I don't want you to see, and that will be then at one point copyrighted, being a track that is going to be released under Darude. I swap all of those out and replace them with like some less whatever near and dear to me samples, like the vocal sample that is in there, and the chords and the melodies are sort of placeholders in this one, but the sounds and everything else is legit. Like, I've tried to make it sound the same that it was before in when I was working on my actual track, and I got quite close to there with Waves plugins. I'm using Element and Codex, and then Flow Motion are three of their instrument plugins, which are really cool and have a lot of amazing presets and a lot of tweakability if you just hit the initialize and start building stuff. Flow Motion and Codex are sort of more like modern plugin synths, and Element is you know, an old school sort of like a subtractive synthesizer, more like a Moog, and the other ones are more like Serum and something else, like quite experimental, especially Flow Motion. Codex is a wavetable synth akin to, let's just say, Serum, kind of massive. And this Flow Motion is sort of strange, and I should have like some notes with me to really read what it is about. But it has this oscillator section and filters like anything else, but then you can mix those sounds a little different, and the whole interface is quite different from anything you've used, pretty much. I liked it and created a couple of presets for it as well, and I've liked Element since I got it. And what I really particularly like about it is the pattern sequencer or arpeggiator, and Codex has a similar thing as well. My master chain is also full on Waves, and there's a lot of stuff in my master chain, but it's not that I would use them all in my master chain. like that, but it's basically actually options for the master chain that I've been trying out different ways to make the track loud enough and make it sound similar to what I had it with my regular master chain, which also has wave stuff, but it's not all waves. So let's get to this. I think it's the master bus that is so heavy for the project, but let's see. Maybe I'll just... Whoa, that's crazy. Not very much is happening and it's already about to peak. Okay, so from top down again, this channel here is the sidechain trigger kick. It is it's muted, you won't hear it, but it actually triggers sidechain compressors that will be doing some pumping sounds, for instance, on this crowd stadium chant sound, for instance, like this. If you look at the screen of the compressor, it actually gets now there's an automation that I'm doing the sort of pumping effect with a gate in this case. Using the same here. Similar thing here. Oh man, this is one, really freaking irritating, and two, slightly embarrassing. And I can't understand why, though I did not update my Waves plugins yet, since I updated to 10.51 Logic, so that might be it. But we are going to go through this and get through this, and I'm going to be just ignoring those stupid cats. I can't understand what would cause it, because I don't have anything that heavy in this. Boom. Nothing here, nothing here, another boom. What do I have here? It's just a sweep up with already sidechain pump printed in the audio. And then we're going so then we have a vocal bus, which is not exactly a vocal, but this is an Apple loop that comes out of a filter. I've used an EQ to clean it up, and then the Waves 1 knob as a filter. yeah, it is one plugin, or it might be my master chain, but I mean, it's really irritating because it's really not, shouldn't be. This is, I don't know, maybe a logic issue. There's my kick. And on my kick, I have a smack attack, and which is up till here. Smack attack is muted or bypassed. And then I turn it on. Check the difference. Clean. A little bit of smear in the tail, and you don't really notice it much at all. But with the bass starting there as well, the kick needed something, and it's sort of, it's kind of like a distortion, but it doesn't start from the attack. Okay, and then I have loops, top loops. It's open hi-hat and close one-ish. Well, the open starts here. Well, there's a little remnants of a kick as well. I've compiled these with several different loops. And what we're doing here is sidechain compressing this, and it gets a trigger from the muted kick. And if you look at the, if we take this off, it's more straightforward, so to say. Now it has that pumping feeling, except I've left a band in the like a mid frequencies around, I don't know, center frequency, I guess 700-800K, where it is not really catching much at all, but high end and low end is pumping. And that I've done in this case with the C6, which is a sidechain, multiband sidechain compressor, and I use it a lot, you know, for this kind of stuff, but also like for making room for vocals, for instance. This one is another loop, like here, housey. This is my particular EQ curve. I don't really know why, but there's like band 4 here. Check this out. I'm gonna move it so I don't have to be. There's band 4. I cut 11 dBs, which is quite a lot. This thing is, if you don't cut it, it bugs me. Nice, system overload. Unreal. Wow. And this one has Mondo mod, which is well, let's take a listen. It's this modulator plugin that you can do really subtle, flangy, for instance, stuff, phasey stuff, but you can also do very, very crazy stuff that affects, I don't know, well, like you can hear, this is this makes it sound more stereo, so to say. If you make this any slower, you can actually hear the panning and it gets distracting, but this being this fast, it sort of gives you the image of stereo. While there's, yeah, this is a maxed out 2018 MacBook Pro 15-inch. Everything should be in order. I honestly don't know why this is doing that. I mean, I could try and push the buffer up. Let's see what that does, but it might help a little. Oh, Matt, thank you so much for the gifts. That is amazing. Okay, well, right now we're a little lower on the, well, we'll see if this helps. On my normal projects, look guys, I'm not blaming Waves for this at all. It's something is up with the Logic Waves combo right now, because normal projects I have more tracks and more plugins than this, and the last time I worked with this, I don't remember having this problem at all. So there was something up with that. I don't know, or is. But we'll get through this. So then after that, I have another loop. It's a shaker thing. It's just noise basically, but it kind of sounds like a shaker. There, I don't have anything. That's an Apple loop, by the way, if you like that. It's called Static Electricity Topper 06, I think. So the next one is like this, and there's just EQ, some ringing stuff, some resonance is taken out, and then it has a one knob fader. So off, on, not much of a difference, except that it's a little fatter. I liked it there. This one is a ride, which I've again EQ'd somewhat drastically. Like for instance here, band, well, 6 it is, 4 dB cut to take this ringing out, which I don't like. So that kind of stuff. I'm a very, I use EQ a lot. I try to find the actual sound that I like and I need from a track, and I EQ a lot of it out. People tell me that I EQ a lot. I guess I do. And here too, we have a sidechain trigger from Audio 2 that was the muted kick, and then it kicks down the low end. Bypassed. Okay, and that was those. Then I have a drum bus with, the first one is snare. One of my favorite Waves plugins is here. So let's take, I got 2 EQs because this treatment did something. First one is just cutting low end a little bit. The second one is this Torque. And Torque is a drum adjustment plugin, I would say. It you can find what the tuning of the drum is, and then you can basically decompose, or whatever you call that, internal process of the plugin. It sort of can tune the drum without making it sound chipmunk or really crappy if you tune it low. So it detects the attack and the tune part, the body separately, and then you can tune it. And check this out. I'm gonna go a little closer here. So I needed this track, or this track is I believe this is a C, or actually let's check out what the tuning is so that I don't talk crap. Yeah, it's a C track. And so I found that my tuning was D something, which doesn't exactly hold true in that way, because then I've tuned it -3.2 semitones down. But the point is that it does detect sometimes correctly, sometimes not exactly, but then by ear you just tweak this ring and you can get to the tuning that you like. Sometimes the tuning actually, in a case of snare for instance, is not based on the actual note that this thing detects, because it could have a like a sloping down frequency profile, like a kick drum as well, you know, often starts with a tick and then a little higher pitched thing, and then it just slopes down. So you need to listen to it when it is in tune with whatever you're tuning it against. Choo choo! Level 2 hype train! Whoa! Let's share this.